Hello, welcome back to another Arma 3 tutorial. Today we're going to go over the Drongo's Enhanced Command mod. Basically, you've got a few options. We'll start off with options. This basically allows you to set up, like, if you want to have debugging, or if you want to have your little command console, if you're trying to command like a battalion or a company, and if you want to be able to allow teleporting like Zeus. Click on a map. You can have command enable high command, which I recommend if you want to have control of all these assets, or you can just spawn the assets in yourself. You can have single player spawn if you want to have that enabled. Attach and or detach groups if your group gets taken out, or you can consolidate to add more. You can enable markers if you want it to be realism and you want to actually see the stuff going on. I would turn this to false, but if you were wanting to practice to make sure it's working properly, I would set that to true. You can have an attack view if you want to have that. You can do all basic stuff. You can set the rank that you want, whoever the high command person is, or you can have multiple people at a certain rank. I definitely recommend only having one side, since I don't know if two sides will work. Tried to do this as two commanders fighting each other. Did not work so well. Then you can have the reinforcements. Basically chooses who can spawn in your reinforcements or assets if you want to have like supplies. And you get markers, delays, and spotting and whatnot. Then you got the enable reinforcements, which basically allows you to generate income to spawn those troops. Then you got the configure side, which you basically, if you want to be op4, you could be op4. If you want to be independent, you can be independent. Basically, if you want to use the default loadouts for that faction, which will spawn, you don't have to do what I did with making a whole lot of stuff. You can have a passive income, and then you can also set group limits. I'd highly recommend group limits because they could be very hardware intensive. And then we got define units, which I've already taken the liberty of spending a while doing. Basically, go here. You set the cost of the unit. You determine what unit they're going to be. If they're going to be infantry, soft vehicles, or so far, or whatever. I keep this on infantry, and then you can name them and customize it. Then you want to, once you've got your units, you can have your infantry, your soft vehicles, your armored vehicles, helicopters, aircraft, drones, and then other. And the special force one, I have yet to figure out how to get that to work properly. But if you want to try the default BIS, they'll show you what those units are. I also have logistics for others, so basically I'm using the Drongo's DYEL. That allows me to basically load these up into a truck and basically build a fob, so you can spawn these assets in, and you can just build your fob. I've got logistics stuff like supply crates, ammo, vehicle, kind of stuff that you would want to kind of have in like a little operation. I'm also using the air operations, since you could use artillery, air operations, and other Drongo mods to work for this. You can also use map population if you want to spawn. I have a little tutorial mission here just for showcasing. Alright, let's get into the controls. So basically for the controls, I would highly recommend go to game options, go to configure. It won't work until you're in the game, so do that. Alright, now we're spawned into the world. Everything, all the assets I have placed down are disappeared, besides this crate here, which I use for refitting aircraft. Go to options, go to controls, go to configure, go to Drongo enhance, the command enhance. You want the show dialog page, which opens the DCE dialog, which I set to left windows, but it'll be whatever the default settings are. So we go to the dialog page. We notice that we have. Ooh, I did not know this. That's actually great to know. There's actually an unflip vehicle. If your AI or you or your group flips the vehicle, you can unflip them. You can unstuck your squad. You can tell your character to stop grunting. That's actually useful. You got Zeus. Basically, you got your command stuff. So you basically, if you don't want to go through using the default AI's command script, you can do that. You tell them to get into buildings, suppressing fire. There's also, if you got a repel mod, you have to use the older repel mod, not the newer ones, to get the repel to work. You can tell them to sit down on a chair or sit. and all that stuff. You could also access the air and artillery, or if you have cruise missiles, you can do that. Here's where you go into high command. This is where you get your reinforcements at. So if you want to have like your rifle squad, you can order a couple of those guys. Open a weapon squad. You could also deploy like a mortar or a custom squad, like I made a mortar team. I can spawn them. Maybe I want to have some vehicles for these guys to ride in, so maybe I'll take this one, two of those. Let me go to transport. Do one of those since we don't want a whole lot of assets. Maybe I want to have a drone. Want to spawn one of those. You could also have helicopters, which we'll throw in this one. Find it. Where's that? This does shift around. Okay, there it is. Top of the list. Spawn that, and maybe I want to have artillery too, just because I feel like it. So basically, everything spawns in, and now as you can see, this starts getting very cluttered. So I'm gonna take this artillery guy, move him into the field here. And if you're not sure if they're, and it uses basically the waypoint command, so you just click on this, and then you left shift, left click, or wherever you want. And then it basically makes your order. I'm having this just sort of showing you. And also if you want to make things work. So basically, if you've got also other features. You got teleport if you want to teleport, comm checks. This is very important. If your guys die and your squad, basically to open up a new group, you can just click on this unit, comm check, and then they'll basically let you know they're still alive, or if they die, then they basically disappear off your list. Then you got your disable lambs. So if you're running lambs and it's annoying you, you can basically tell that squad no longer use the lambs. If they get stuck, you can unstock them. You can hide, which I'm going to take this squad or this artillery, hide it. Also my aircraft, since I can access these through the air support and artillery mod, I'll just exclude that. My drone, exclude. Now I'm clearing up my menu space, so now I can command my squads. So basically, I could order these guys to hop in the vehicles, so this is very easy. Just go, pick your vehicle you want, left click. So since this is a squad of 8 and the vehicle only holds 7, I'll have to wait till all of them are in, and except the squad leader, and then I'll tell them to get in the other vehicle. For the other squads, I'll tell them to get into the Hemet. And we'll do that. And then my mortar team, I'm just going to throw them over here. Just for demonstration purposes. Because I'll show you them going inside here to this building. While everyone's following commands. And while that's doing that, give them some dumb rockets, because air support's cool. And then you change that with the air Drongo mod. Now back to our squad here. So my mortar team is here. I can tell them to deploy this mortar tube. And then they unload their mortar tubes. And now I can go in and call artillery support with this. Team leader and control, vice versa. And then when I'm ready for them to pack up, I just tell them, hey, pack up your stuff. And then the AI grab their backpacks and you can command them again. So here I'm going to tell these guys to go and clear this building. So one of the things you're going to find was when they go inside this building, or any building, they will get stuck. So there is a way I've discovered to unstuck them. Basically go in here and tell them to search, and they will break out of this. So we're not really too worried about that squad. We're going to go over here. Let's order the drone in the air. That's 2,000. Loiter. There, my little test area. And then helicopter. Have them airborne over here. what we'll do is we'll take this Hemet and put him a part of this squad here. My vehicle here. Tell this squad member, and the cool thing with this is it'll tell you if they're in a vehicle or not. Since they're not, I'm going to tell him to get into this vehicle since we got room. Then we're going to take the Hemet, it's this one, and tell him to join the vehicle squad. This. Join. And voila. I may have just combined all squads into this same vehicle, but now I can take this, minus that. I can then take, and sometimes you gotta be very picky, because if I just turn around, left click, and tell them to go here, they will try to drive through the trees. So
move to grid
very
0,
smart
4,
to
2, 1, 0, 4.
Change the AI's pathing. Then you can tell them to do a transport unload at the end and follow the stuff. You can also give them individual commands too.
Move to grid 0, 4, 4, 1, 0, 4.
And you don't have to be also in the lead vehicle. You could also be in the rear or wherever you want to be.
Move to grid 0, 4, 8, 1, 0,
and here I am,
0.
not giving any commands or anything. Do the thing, I'm just using the menu. Now I can basically see that we're going to be running into some trouble.
Move to grid 0, 4, 7, 1.
And the map will show the enemy if you have markers on. Then I can call in air support. Do that. Then I can order this squad since they're no longer in their vehicle. Tell them to push. Then I can also tell them to seek and destroy, or to destroy. And now the ungrunt, where the heck is that? And there we go, my guy shuts up. Go back to this. Little delay, but the cool thing is if you get in a situation where your forces are being bogged down, you can always call in reinforcements. So maybe I want to have a helicopter just transport and get another squad or two.
Go, I'll cover. Okay,
Go here, exclude that unit, tell this unit to get in that helo at the base. Once that unit's all in the helicopter, then I can tell the helicopter to come insert them in and then have a nice little battlefield space.
Go! I'll cover!
Cool thing is you can tell your squads if you need, if they're running low on ammo. If you have like a supply crate, you can tell them to pick up.
Contact. Soldier.
Alright, they're all in the helicopter. Now we're the insert. The massive squad here. Throw them over here.
Ready.
Reinforcements. And all this you can do basically on the fly. Like maybe I see a situation I need artillery, maybe I have no possible enemy locations through my observing or players observing, so I can call in artillery. Maybe this church here, which I'm going to commit a war crime with the fun bit.
Message to observer.
Call artillery. If you have your own little personal squad, you tell them if they have a medic to heal people or heal themselves.
Shot over. Splash over.
I actually didn't realize that they'd be falling behind this vehicle. Maybe I have to do that with an armored vehicle. And now that the helicopter force just landed, I can now order them to flank if there's an enemy squad or anything. And then artillery is blasting that, and basically that is that. Air support can be a little overwhelming, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, you basically command, you can tell squads to, like I can tell this squad to meet me here. And you can tell them to look in any direction, you can tell them to look east, south, north, and he basically starts rotating. Tell them to look west, or maybe you want to look northwest, or southwest. And then basically you can have your squads kind of placing however you want. Maybe I want them to move here. And then vice versa. You can basically command them and set them up however you deem it necessary. And then at the end of this, if you want to mount up your vehicle, or mount the vehicles up again, you can. The leading stuff, I also, let's go back, teleport myself over here for one last little demonstration. Cool, that takes care of that. Now I can go in here, I can spawn in other. If you have like boats, you can do that. I could basically, if I want to build like a fob, I could spawn that. If I want to have like logistics, I can spawn that. Maybe I need a transport truck to transport those cargo, so I could bring a flatbed. Flatbed will spawn over there. And then I can tell this flatbed here to meet me over here, since all the cargo seems to be over here. Move stuff, you can load up the truck however you want, and then press Shift C to load. Okay. You can also go to here. It could basically tell it to load up the ammo crate and stuff. For this kind of stuff, you're gonna have to manually lift it up. You could also, I've messed with this a little bit. You could create some custom vehicles with your this Drongo's DYL mod. And then you can basically set this there, and then basically now I can order this truck to move base parts anywhere. So let's go over here with the ammo and that, and then basically goes, delivers it. So basically this opens up opportunities for like your logistics players. So maybe only you want your logistics players to be your spawn, so you give them the rank of spawning in stuff. You can. This is kind of a long video just because it's a lot of stuff, but you could do a lot of things. It basically opens up a lot of stuff. So basically I could take this squad, tell them, hey, let's get in this vehicles, mount them up, and then basically tell these squads to essentially get in their vehicles. And then they get in their vehicles, and then you can move on to the next objective, and so on and so forth. I will basically be trying to get this uploaded into a Steam thing, minus this section here, so you can mess around with the AI, mess around with the controls, spawn them in, however you feel like it. But that is it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.